Well, hello and welcome to the Topher Project. My name is Topher Field, and I help busy people like yourself to keep up with the world as it changes around you. And certainly one person who doesn't like the way the world is changing is Daniel Andrews. It seems like the guy can't get any luck at the moment. He's having trouble getting his golf games in. He's having trouble getting a meal at a pub. He's having trouble with the car crash that he was involved in some decade ago, still haunting him. Many skeletons in the closet. Besides that, of course, the recent revelations, what a ridiculous thing to say. The recent admissions from the Human Rights Commissioner that Daniel Andrews obviously violated human rights, although I would say the Commissioner didn't go nearly far enough. Well, I'm rather enjoying the show. I feel like this is some tiny little sliver of vindication, of revenge, if you will, after what he did to Victorians. Of course, it's nowhere near enough, though. And someone who is trying to stick it to Daniel Andrews right where it's going to hurt him the most, and that is in his fat little ego, is Jackson Moon, who has organized a petition saying that we should not be building a statue of Daniel Andrews, especially not while his legacy is so contested, whilst the human rights issues loom over his head, and also just as a matter of protocol, whilst he is still alive. Well, Jackson joins me now on the Topher Project. Jackson, how are you?
Good, Topher. Thanks for having me.
Now, you've decided that you are going to spearhead this campaign to try and get the Daniel Andrews statue cancelled. It's notable that they are rushing, it would seem, to get it done so quickly. They often don't do that with political leaders. What do you think the significance of this statue is, and why is it so significant to you that you would bother to try and stop it from happening?
Well, I think most of us, who lived through the Andrews era, particularly through the COVID era, um, would question why you would, memorialize a man, via a bronze statue, where there are, significant issues, yet to resolve. Um,
Mm,
you cited the Human Rights Commission decision. There's the ongoing scandals, including the Bite Boy scandal, which is you brought up before, and really statues are normally reserved for figures who have a proven legacy, where they've undergone years of scrutiny, and there are no questions remaining for their over their time in office, for instance. So these are people that are deserving of a statue. So when you walk past a statue with your family, your kids, you can talk about that particular figure and say, well, look, this is what that person did, and you want that legacy to be something that's worth talking about.
mm,
You don't want a divisive figure, somebody who's wrecked and broken the state, who's destroyed lives,
mm,
who presided over 801 hotel quarantine deaths, thousands of suicides that nobody wants to talk about, destroyed businesses, broken and fractured, family relationships, friendships, workplaces. You know, the chaos and the fallout following uh, that era is still ongoing. And so,
mm.
the reason I'm starting the petition is, to ensure that this man is not memorialised, not at least until all proper due processes have been completed.
Sure. So that all makes perfect sense to me. You're preaching to the choir, really, and I'm very happy to hear it, and I'll be signing the petition as well. But I guess the question lingers: why you, Jackson? What's your story that brought you to the point where you decided, hey, I'm going to be the one that puts my name and my face to this?
Well, no one else. I'm quite surprised that nobody else is doing it. I thought really someone would have started the petition by now. I looked around, nobody had, and you know, I could see that the Andrews legacy was unraveling, and I thought, okay, well, time will do its thing. But no, nothing was happening. But then when Jacinta Allen announced that a statue was going ahead, I thought, well, no, this is not going to happen.
Mm,
Um, and you are not going to bypass, conventional process. This was going to be a slap in the face to every Victorian that this man has hurt. All right,
mm,
and I don't particularly, hate the man. I don't like him. I'll be honest. I don't. I never liked Daniel Andrews. To me, this is about what's fair and what's right. And it's not fair that Victoria gets stuck with a statue that is, as I said, will be a slap in the face to all of us. Uh,
mm,
um, and it's And so I decided to do something about it. So I set up a change.org petition, and I did that initially to get awareness, for the statute. And we got a good response. We got 15,500 signatures pretty quickly. I didn't think that was enough. I actually thought we get 100,000. So, but I think a lot of people just weren't aware that it was happening. But I knew that the government wouldn't accept a change.org, a petition for the government to listen for a statute. Sorry, for a petition to be tabled, read into the Hansard. It has to be an official parliamentary petition. So I set that up, and I got in contact with some with Moira Deeming, who's an MP here in Melbourne, and Moira graciously offered to sponsor the petition. So when you do a parliamentary petition, it has to be sponsored by someone in Parliament. I don't think I could have got anyone better, to be honest. I mean, what a fluke! I got a rock star to sponsor the petition. Thank you, Moira. And now, so now the petition is live. It's been up for a few days, and I've sent you the links. Hopefully, you can put them in, where they're supposed to go. And there's that's what it looks like. So look, you'll see this is where an official parliamentary petition is different to change.org. So change.org, you put your email address, you can put in, your screen name, and bang, you've got a vote. But with an official parliamentary petition, you have to put your full name and your residential address. Now, I understand a lot of people will be uneasy with that, okay, but I just want to say that, that's how democracy works. And if you really want to have a voice, you have to go the whole yard. So I ask people just do it. Put your name, put your address in, and it'll be okay. And by doing that, we register. We register your vote. If I can use the word.
So I also want to draw another distinction, Jackson, because your change.org petition did come across my path, and I chose not to promote it for the simple fact that I know that a change.org petition will not have any effect on Parliament whatsoever. And unfortunately, there are people in the world who exploit things like petitions to try and build a database and get people's information so they can market to them later on. And the thing with a parliamentary petition, as you will know, Jackson, is you don't get anyone's information. None of that information comes to you. It is administered by the Victorian government, and all of that information remains out of your hands. And I think that's a really important point to make, where that's why I'm happy to interview you and talk to you about this. Whereas when it came to the change.org petition, I quite literally just let that one pass me by. I wasn't going to get involved at all because it wasn't going to have an effect, as you've rightly pointed out. Now, you've got some pretty cool graphics here. I like this. No statue for Dan. I do like the way that looks. If people wanted to get involved in this campaign and help to spread the word, obviously sharing this video is a great place to start. But do you have some physical materials or some online materials that somewhere they can go to get those and help to distribute those? Yeah, well, look, all the images are on my socials. I've sent you the link. So it's Jackson Moon. That's on X, so x.com/Jackson Moon. I'm on Facebook as well. And you can DM me. My email address is on the official petition. You can email me. I'll send you the images if you like. Just share them on your socials, and talk about it. Talk about it with your friends. I've got a QR code there to make it easy for everyone. Just scan the code and go sign the petition and share it. Talk about it. And if we can we need to get around 10,000 signatures for the petition to be read in Parliament. So we need that first 10,000. But ideally, if we get 100,000 plus signatures, they can't say no. It's not like the government can't ignore such a large volume of voices. So we get 100,000 plus, and I mean, I would say there's more than 100,000 Victorians people have left Victoria. In fact, there's about 350,000 have left since COVID. So guys, come back for a week, and sign a petition. But we just need a lot of signatures, Topher. It's as simple as that. And so obviously cancelling the Daniel Andrews statue, that is the core of this petition. Is there anything else involved here, or is it just a pure single issue petition? Let's just knock this one on the head and deal with other issues in other ways.
Yeah, let's just knock this issue on the head. There are a lot of other issues there which other people are tackling and doing a very good job of it. But look, this statue is a big thing. I know some people are saying, "Oh, look, we just move on. It's over." Well, it's not over. It's not over
No,
for the
not at
801
all.
people that died. It's not over for the small businesses. It's not over for people like you and I, who in some way or
Mm,
another, we're still doing this. We're still doing something to try and get some fairness back into the state and to put
mm,
things right.
mm. Well, Jackson, thank you so much for joining me here on the Topher Project. Thank you for taking the initiative. It is interesting. I'm kind of fascinated by what is the trigger that makes people go, well, someone needs to do this. Oh, I guess I'm the someone. And because I walked that exact road and went through that exact process myself when the lockdowns began and then ultimately making Battleground Melbourne, it was this continuous process of thinking, well, someone should do something, and then realizing that I needed to be the someone. So Jackson, thank you for being the someone on this particular petition. I will put all of the links into the description of this video to make sure that people can find it, can support it, can sign it, and can also share it and help to spread the word. Jackson, thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome, Topher. Thank you very much. Please share the petition.
Well, hello and welcome to the Topher Project. My name is Topher.